Yo, what is up, guys? So I actually have a really weird story that happened recently. So basically there was a guy that was missing some items, and also his game mode was changed on his account. So I thought this was suspicious at the time. I thought he definitely might have been hacked, or maybe he changed his game mode himself for some reason. And another option is he might have given his login information to another player. Surprisingly, we have had some very rich players actually that have given their login details to another person. And then sometimes they will actually come back and ask me like what happened to their account because they're missing a ton of items. And it's because they gave their login details away. So I tried to find out if a staff member actually changed his password or his recovery. It looks like none of his recovery or password was changed at all. So at this point, I thought that he might have been sharing accounts with some other person, or that he changed his game mode and actually forgot about it. So I started looking at the IP logs actually of all the logins that were happening. So the person that had items taken, he had two different accounts. One was actually a hardcore Iron Man, and then the other one was like an economy player. But there was actually a suspicious third account that was logging in on his IP address. So I actually thought that this third account that logged in at the same time was actually one of his accounts. This account seemed to log in only around the time that he actually played on his accounts. But there are two instances where this guy had two of his accounts logged in with this suspicious third account. The first time was actually in December of 2020. And then the second time was in 2021 around July. So about 6 months later. So I thought that there was actually a high likelihood that the third account was actually his and he just didn't remember. The reason I thought the account was his is because his password and his recovery were actually never changed. And then I thought there was a small chance that he might have actually shared his account details with someone else. And the strange thing is that only some items were missing from one of his accounts. I did think it would be very strange that he would take his own hardcore Iron Man away. So I definitely thought someone else was responsible, but I'm just not sure how someone else was able to get on his account. So I looked into the suspicious third account that was logging in, and he had been jailed for auto-clicking in the past, but that wasn't really a big thing to be worried about because auto-clicking is actually kind of common. But it turns out that he had actually been doing services for other players as well. So if you remember the first time I mentioned they logged in at the same time in December of 2020, it turns out that this third person was actually doing a task for the person who actually lost their items. So you can actually give away your account details, and then the other person will actually log into your account. And if you pay them, then you can actually have them do a service for you. So it turns out that this guy was actually a service provider who logged into his account. But the problem is that he actually logged into his account again 6 months later. During this time, he actually took away the hardcore Iron Man status so that he could steal items from his apprentice and items that were like he was wearing or in his inventory. But the strange thing is that he actually didn't steal like all the items. He only stole like some items. And then after he stole these items, he actually never logged in again. So it's definitely a good thing that we have tons of Discord logs to show off like which people are doing services in the past. Because if we didn't have the service logs and the IP logs, we would have no idea who actually stole all these items. Also, if you do services, you should definitely change your password and possibly also your recovery, like before the service and also after the service, to make sure that they don't log into your account later on. Alright guys, hopefully you guys enjoyed this investigation. If you guys did, like and subscribe. We're trying to get to 500 subscribers actually. And peace out.